Sourdough discard. We're going to try a recipe today, so come along with us. All right, sourdough is looking really good. We fed it and then we put it back in the fridge a couple days ago. Now we've gotten it back out of the refrigerator. We're going to feed it again later today, but first we're going to take the discard. So today's recipe is crackers. Really, the only thing you're going to need are your discard from your sourdough, salt, melted butter, but cooled, whatever type of herb or seasoning you have. These are some ones that we have from Trader Joe's. And as far as supplies go, you're going to need parchment paper to lay your crackers on, some cookie sheets, some mixing bowls, measuring spoons, cup, and a couple rubber spatulas. So we've got about 7/8 of a cup of discard here. And you're just going to pour that into your mixing bowl. We're going to do 2 batches today, which is why we have 2 bowls, 2 different flavors. Okay, then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of melted but cooled butter. And we're going to do a heavy pinch of salt in here. And you want 2 teaspoons of whatever your seasoning is. And then we're just going to mix this up. Make sure you get everything incorporated in there. And now we're going to just put a piece of parchment paper down. And we're going to spread this out as thin as we can. Which this stuff flows really well, actually. So should spread out pretty easy. You don't have to fuss with it too much because it will self-level. Okay, so we're going to set this to the side while our oven preheats and we'll get the next batch ready. Okay, second batch, again, 7/8 of a cup. And definitely check to see how much you have before you do this, because you don't want to run yourself out and then have to make a new starter. See if we got enough butter here. 2 tablespoons. Oh my goodness, just perfect. Okay, then we're going to do our heavy pinch of salt in there. And then we've got some cheesy blend, it's called. So, cheese flavored cracker. 1, 2 teaspoons. And we're going to mix it up. Smells like pizza breadsticks or something. Okay, then another piece of parchment paper. Okay, now that this is almost spread out, we're going to put it in the oven, Convect bake for 10 minutes. Alrighty. Okay, so now that we have those in the oven, we are going to go ahead and feed the sourdough.
All right, I don't really play by the rules when I feed my sourdough, but you can see I don't have much left here in the jar tonight. So I start by adding some flour, and I just kind of go by eye so that I can keep enough starter around. So I do. To me, it's about the consistency, not about the measurements. I use tap water because I am on a well, and I use an all-purpose organic flour. All right, so this is about the thickness I like my starter to be. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this on the counter for a couple hours, and it'll get really nice and bubbly. And then I actually just put the lid on it, put it back in the fridge until I'm ready to use it again. That might be a couple days or might be 2 weeks.
Alrighty. Put this one on this side. Okay, the only thing we're going to do with these now is we're going to score them. I just got a pizza cutter, and we're going to cut them into about 1.5 to 2 inches by 1.5 to 2 inches. Same size as like a saltine cracker. And we're just going to score this. And you could use a knife or whatever the heck else you want to use. But this is what we're using. There is a flaw in this idea because you cannot get all the way to the edge. But I don't know that it matters. Oh crap, that's a really crooked cut. Oh well. We'll just show you guys the prettiest ones. How about that? Now that we have these scored, we're just going to put them back in the oven. I left the oven on, and we're going to bake them for another 20 minutes. So we just checked on the crackers at 25 minutes, not quite ready, so we went ahead and put them in for another 5 minutes. And I just wanted to show you this sourdough starter. She just fed it. It's bubbling. It's plenty healthy. And I just want to stick up for my rebel wife and say that you can measure by eye, and you don't have to get this sourdough out and weigh it and do all this crap with it. How do you think people did it back when sourdough was invented? People didn't have kitchen scales. That wasn't a thing. There were scales, yes, but they were usually at the general store. So nobody was going to go down to the general store to weigh their sourdough so that they could figure out how much they needed to feed it that day. So for those of you that are sensitive about sourdough and it has to be this exact thing, it doesn't. Ours works, and I just wanted to say that. And here's another thing I won't tell you to do. Smash or...
You can close that when it's...
Yeah, it'll go... So my wife just reminded me, that's one thing you don't want to do is do that. Because while it's being fed, it's building up pressure. So yeah, don't do that. That was just kind of a nervous thing I was doing. Okay, so just to recap, we put them in for 10 minutes, and then we scored them, and then we put them back in for, it said 20 minutes. That was what the recipe said. We did have to bake them for quite a bit longer, but it really probably just depends on your oven. We had 2 sheets in there, so that does make a difference. But you can see on these, and if you just, keep an eye on them, but they are definitely done. And they are definitely delicious. If you like Cheez-Its, yeah, the cheesy ones, tastes like a Cheez-It. These are the dill pickle ones. Still got the Cheez-It flavor in my mouth. Yep, there it is. Those are good too. Sourdough discard made into crackers. It's a winner. Try it out. Thanks for watching.
Told you, I don't play by the rules. A lot of people will be like, that's not how you take care of a starter. You have to put that on the counter every single day and you have to fight it. And then you're going to have discard coming out your ears. And ugh. That's, is that really recording?
Star must be shown. Okay, I will. Take me to your leader.